Bend the knee. Valor Mogolis, everybody. Don Willie back again with another edition of Ice and Fire Opinions. And this time I am talking to you about Sandor Clegane, also known as the Hound. Like we do every Thursday, I'm actually a little later than expected. My bad about that one. Shout out to everyone who's in the chat right now. We got Ion Trone, AU Pack Mule, Ricky Hunt, Sir LT Giles, Alicia Kingston. I think I saw the boy Wonder up in there. Yep. Joe Swag. What's good, y'all? Alright, so let's get into this guy here. So, let me know how I'm sounding, by the way. I went out and spent some more money I shouldn't be spending, but I'm trying to make the production value as good as I possibly can. So I went and got this damn Blue Yeti mic looking all sparkly. I gotta do something about this lights, because this shit it's like sparkling like crazy right now. And hopefully you guys can hear me, but it's hard to tell because I can't hear myself. So forgive me, if I am not sounding the greatest right now. Alright, cool. Hearing sounds great. David Adams was popping. Sean Land. What's good? Anyway. Yeah, and yes, I am on cardioid. Alright, so let's get into this. So, Sandor, the Hound, that's my man right there. One of my favorite characters in the entire story, books, or show. And for those of you who are only show watchers, you may not realize this, but for one, there's two kind of things that they have done with the character. One is a superficial thing, and one not necessarily so much. It's superficial in terms of it really may not change much for his story, but I'm not exactly sure why they did this. I mean, like for those of you who only have watched the show, never read the books, some characters' ages have remained pretty much the same or in the same ballpark, and some of them, they have actually upped their ages a lot. Like, so for example, Ned and Catelyn in the books are only like in their mid-30s, and in the show, as you can see, with them casting Michelle Fairley and Sean Bean, they've obviously made them into like their mid to late 40s and possibly even early 50s. And Sandor is one of those characters who also got aged up a lot. So in the books, he's only in his like early to mid 20s, but Rory McCann, the actor who plays him in the show, I believe is like in his early 40s. Maybe 40, somewhere between like 41 and 44. So that's what they decided to do for the show. Don't ask me why. But, when we were first introduced to the Hound, he is Joffrey's dog. He's his protector, his sworn sword, all that good stuff. And I'm trying to think, like, it. So the very first thing you see of him, he's not a despicable character, right? But you get the whole instance with the butcher's boy, and before that, actually, there's the story of how he got the scars on his face. The whole story, because in the show, Littlefinger tells the story to Sansa about how he got his face burned, but in the book, it's actually him telling Sansa about that, and that's after the butcher's boy. My bad. Shit gets a little jumbled up sometimes. Um, and he's one of those characters who we don't understand the depths of his pain until later on. Like when you get to the Battle of the Blackwater, and you see that like the dude is really scared of fire, and that trauma from his childhood brings him back so far that he's like, "Fuck this! I'm done. I'm I can't do it anymore. This is over. I'm over with this." And so it's cool that he gets that arc to where it's not just him being I'm the biggest badass in the world, etc., etc. And it's one of those things where I think that George really does a great job with just showing how we process trauma, and showing how that you can have something that happens to you when you're way young, and then later on it can wind up coming back to haunt you, I guess in a manner of speaking. But that shapes and molds us. It makes us who we are in our later years, and just because someone puts on this facade of being overly macho or whatever may have you, it doesn't mean that they can't break down, and that's what we see with the Hound, is that every now and then you come across times where you're expecting him to just be the ultra tough guy, but he breaks down. He's just like, yo, I can't do it. I thought I could be the person that everyone always feared. He's like, I can't do that. And his break at the Battle of the Blackwater is the real symbolic turn for all of that for him. And that's where we see his arc kind of start to shift. Now, just taking it back a little bit, him running down the butcher's boy. He's on Joffrey's orders, obviously. So it's kind of like, well, what do you expect him to do when the boy who will become king at some point has just been attacked, supposedly, right? Air quotes on that one. He's been attacked, and your orders are to go and apprehend and kill this man. Because so taking it off to a side story from A Song of Ice and Fire, you have the Tales of Dunk and Egg. So in the first one, the Hedge Knight, Sir Duncan the Tall actually he strikes one of the Targaryen princes, and so and more than just strikes the Targaryen prince. I think he actually knocked out one of his teeth or something. And so the punishment for that one is like you're supposed to lose the hand that you struck the royalty with and all that, and there's this whole medieval rules and that whole caste system that it's like the royals are at the top, then you got the lesser nobles, and then even the lesser nobles, and then you got the serfdom. Well, no, lesser noble. Yeah, all right. So royalty, you got your great nobles, your lesser nobles, your knights, your serfs, and then whoever the fuck else under all of that. Your super peasants. And so if you're on a lower class than someone else, and you touch them in an aggressive manner, or harm them, the penalty could be death. And so the Hound living under that system where you striking a prince, the prince said that you attacked him. First he says that you went to attack Sansa. He stopped you from attacking Sansa, and then you attacked him and hit him in the head with a branch and split his head open, and then the dire wolf got sicked on him and all that stuff, right? So him living under that system and following those rules, I'm not going to say that he had no choice but to kill the butcher's boy, but he had no choice but to kill the butcher's boy. It is what it is. Was it wrong? Yes. Definitely wrong, and I'm glad that we do not live under that kind of system currently, because I'm pretty sure you'd have a lot of people walking around with like no limbs, or just people walking around in a state of perpetual fear that they're gonna piss off somebody of a higher class than them, and I could be killed or maimed or whatever may have you. So I'm glad that we don't live with that anymore, because that just it's not a good way to live. Period. Point blank. So him going through that, and then also there was after the death of, or the execution, not even death, the execution of Ned Stark, when we see Sansa thinking about pushing Joffrey off of that bridge or walkway or whatever it was, and the Hound comes and stops Sansa from doing that. Now, we don't get to see his motivations as to why he stopped her, because I don't know if he read the situation and saw like, yo, he's taunting her right now and she's gonna fucking kill him. Let me stop her, or if it was a thing of, I can see she's in pain. Let me just try to console her real quick, because that was also after he had Meryn Trant slapped shit out of her. You know, and we see little glimpses of him actually being a much more noble person, but the fact that he has the burnt face, and he kind of comes off as really gruff, and like in a situation where he's calling Sansa a little bird and telling her the story, and it was like, oh, if you repeat the story, I'll kill you. It's one of those things where he's more like your average, what we consider like Western gunslinger, than he is a knight. Because your Western gunslingers, when you think about guys like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid and all that kind of stuff, when you think about those people, it comes off as a little more like, how could I say this? It's like these guys have good hearts, but at the same point, they also are they are not to be trifled with, and that's what the Hound is. He's somebody with a genuinely good heart, but he is not to be trifled with. He's not the guy that you want to sit back and say, okay, you know what? I feel like pulling a prank on him. Like, no, his brother pulled the only prank on him that I think anyone's going to get pulled, and he wants to kill him for that. So like, just going through the different things that happen to him, when he has his trial by fire at the Battle of the Blackwater. But Oh, but you know what? Before that, I want to go into something that the show did. That to me was clever in its visual storytelling, but I don't know why they kind of skipped over it and brought it back in a very subtle way. Uh, so at the end of season one, Sandor Clegane, and I want you guys to go back. Season 1, episode 10. It's either season 1, episode 10 or season 2, episode 1. Either way, one of those episodes, Sandor is wearing Kingsguard armor. He's in the throne room wearing Kingsguard armor, literally for one episode. And then after that, he goes back to wearing his regular stuff. And then the only other time that you hear him mention being in the Kingsguard is the Battle of the Blackwater, where Tyrion is like, yo, Sandor, you're Kingsguard. And that was right before the whole, fuck the Kingsguard and fuck the king. So there's only ever one mention of him being in the Kingsguard, and only one time you actually see him in the Kingsguard armor in the show. And I'd have to go back to the books. I actually don't remember if he was inducted into the Kingsguard in the books. I don't remember. So don't crucify me in that one in the comment section. It's been a while since I've read the first book. You guys know I do the rereads with Hype's Watch and all that stuff. And we honestly have not done anything for any of the first book chapters in a very long time. So I might need to make a suggestion about doing a chapter from book 1. Maybe involving the Hound somehow. But after the Battle of the Blackwater... Well, no, not even after. During the Battle of Blackwater. So, he leaves the battlefield and he's like, listen, man, fuck this, I'm out. So, in the show, it's a little watered down as opposed to what happens in the books. Because in the books, he does go to Sansa's room and he's like, I can get you out of here. And he kind of threatens her, and he's like, sing for me and all this other stuff. And, it's not that she calls him a coward, but she does kind of give him a bit of a tongue lashing. And then he's like, all right, well, listen, I tried to help you. You want to be on the bullshit. Deuces. So, it's pretty cool to see him, forge his own way. So the next time we meet up with Sandor is when he's captured by the Brotherhood without banners, and Arya is, pissed off and wants him to die. He battles Beric Dondarrion, kills Beric Dondarrion. Beric comes back to life and is like, hey, well, look, you won your trial by combat, so, rules are rules. We gotta let you go. But the Lord of Light is not done with you yet. And then later on, he snatches up Arya, and they go on their misadventures. So, in the books versus the show, in the books we get a much, not necessarily a softer side, but we get a much more cunning side of Sandor in the books, because, when the Brotherhood without banners catches him, he actually has money on him. Right? He has some gold dragons, and they're like, okay, cool, we need this in order to fund the Brotherhood without banners, and here's an IOU. And he's sitting up there like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this shit? You're like, listen, after the war is over, we'll pay you back. Just keep this IOU. And the funny thing about it is, like, when him and Sansa are trying to get across the Trident in order to, like, because he's going to sell her back to Robb and Catelyn. And in order for them to get across the Trident, they need to get a ferry because it's raining like crazy. And the ferryman is like, all right, well, you know, he tells them how much it costs. And he was like, look, I'll give you this much, now, and I'll give you more when we cross. So they get across the water, and he gives him the IOU, and I think he writes down like how much, he owes him or something like that. And he was like, yo, hold on, man. I lost one of my oarsmen. I think he lost like a horse or something like that. He was like, yo, what the hell am I supposed to do with this one? He was like, yo, look, after this War of 5 Kings is over, I'll come and pay you back, man. But, the Brotherhood without banners took all my money, so this is what we got to work with right now. And that was absolutely hilarious. And that's something that they didn't show in the show. I mean, the most that we got was he was going to kill the dude with the cart with the salt pork, and then the other thing where he robbed the guy. He went to the guy's house. The guy fed him, and then then he went and robbed him. So that was actually that was, I mean, it wasn't funny, but it was just funny because it's like, it's the Hound. What do you expect him to do? And another great scene, one that I think they did particularly well in the show, was the scene with him versus Polliver at that inn, where him and Arya face off against Polliver and the rest of the supposed Kingsmen. And he's like, hey, if you keep on talking, he was like, no, if I hear any more words come out of your cunt mouth, I'm gonna have to eat every fucking chicken in this place. Awesome scene. And it just shows that, again, the Hound is not to be trifled with. Now, there's a big deviation from book to show, because after the Red Wedding, Arya and the Hound are jumped by Rorge and Biter, or I believe they jump by Rorge and Biter. I forget exactly which, but I know that the end at the crossroads in the books, he gets hurt, and then after that, it's pretty much like he couldn't go on. He was done for. Arya leaves him, and then there's the big speculation that he is the Hound. I mean that he is the Gravedigger. Because we get the whole thing with the Quiet Isle and Septim Maribald and the Elder Brother, and Hound's helmet was there or whatever. But he's like, oh, look, this is where we buried the Hound. Or no, Sandor Clegane is at rest. His horse is there. And, there's all the symbols that show you that the Hound is not dead. In the show, they decided to change it up. And, maybe it was for the best that they actually changed it in the show. Like, I'm not big on all the changes that they do in the show, but every now and then they actually do get some of it right. They do some things and don't totally screw it all to hell. So I'll be honest, I love the fight with him and Brienne. Absolutely love the fight with Sandor and Brienne. Now, mind you, this is a weakened Hound. And I don't think we'll ever see the Hound at 100% full strength again. But look, he got kicked off the side of a mountain and somehow still survived. So you gotta give the man props just for being I don't know. You gotta give him props just for being, I guess, tough enough. Yeah, he's super tough. You got to give him props for that, if nothing else. Um, I'm trying to think of. So, when they brought him back for season 6, they tried to make it, this not it was a big to do or whatever, but they really tried to keep it under wraps. But we kind of knew. We knew he was coming back. We're glad to see the Hound back, and he was kind of in rare form to a certain extent because after you have Lemon Cloak and whoever else from the Brotherhood without banners come and kill up the people in the village, he goes on his one-man hunting spree with that axe. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. I loved it. And then when him running into Thoros and Beric Dondarrion, and they hang Lemon Cloak and two of the other guys, and he immediately just takes his boots, like no hesitation. He just up soon as I don't even think he was fully dead yet. I think he might have still been choking. Dude, so I'm like, yep, just take these boots, and I think we still have a lot more to see from the Hound. I mean, we've seen pictures, leaked photos of season 7. He's in I believe he's in one of the trailers. I think he's going with Jon north of the wall. I'm not 100% on that one, but it would make sense, especially if he's with the Brotherhood without banners. They're also against the White Walkers, so him going north of the wall makes sense. Hopefully they do not kill him for real this time. If he's gonna die, let it not be until after Clegane Bowl, because we need Clegane Bowl in our lives, and my prediction, at least for the books, can't tell you about the show, but my prediction for the books is that Cersei will run back to Castle Rock, but on her way there, she and the Mountain will encounter the Hound, and that is where we will get Clegane Bowl somewhere in the Westerlands before Cersei gets to Castle Rock. I think this may be like the third or fourth video I'm saying this on, but if this is your first time hearing it, remember that is my prediction. Somewhere in the Westerlands, on the way back to Castle Rock, Hound versus the Mountain, it goes down. Alright, I've done enough talking. I don't think there's much more that I can say, other than me rambling. So we're going to bring up the chat, see what you guys got. Let me hear your questions in the chat right now. Alright, and who do we have in the chat with us? Let's see. Let's look at the participants. We got Dish Murphy, we got Donna Krakenwit, we got Icy Spots, Ion Trone, Joe Swag, Lav, Ricky Hunter, Septa Shaners, Sapphires, Sir LT Giles, The Boy Wonder, T-Mo 30, Todd Fowler, and Renwood. So, yeah, what's going on, people? Hey, you know what? I'd like to give a shout out, really, to Septon Shayna's Sapphires. He did a really great video recently, and it was Tony Teflon versus Preston Jacobs about who wrote the Pink Letter. Awesome video. So you guys make sure to go and check out his channel. I'm not sure why it's Septa Shayna's Sapphires. I don't know if that was supposed to be some kind of tongue twister or whatever, but make sure and go and check out that gentleman's channel. Like I said, I love that video. Alright, so we got our first question here from Ricky Hunt. So, you don't believe Tony's theory of Clegane Bowl where Jaime and Sandor fight the Mountain together as seen in Bran's vision? You know what? I'd have to go back and watch that video because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember seeing that in Brand's vision. Not that not that it's not possible, but yeah, I honestly don't remember. So I mean, look, Tony has his own predictions, and I think a lot of them are going to come true. That's my personal feeling on how I think it would all play out. But I mean, it could be. You know, I think that if the Hound and the Mountain, um, yeah, I think the Hound versus the Mountain has to be a one-on-one thing. Personally, I think the the Mountain needs to be taken down by himself. Personally, that's just me. I don't think it needs to be a team up. All right, so next one from Sir LT Giles. Willie, do you think the Hound is ultimate good guy now? No, no. The Hound is not the ultimate good guy whatsoever. The Hound, again, like I said, I think he is like, um, I think he's like your Western gunslinger, who, you know, is he is he's someone who has a good heart, but he definitely is willing to kill you. You know, he's kind of like if Han Solo had a fucked up childhood, he would be Sandor Clegane. Because remember, Han shot first, and I think the Hound would draw his sword and try to stab you first. So there we go with that one. All right. All right. So next one from Todd Fowler. All right. What's the Hound's favorite hobby? Eating chicken or killing chicken? I think it would be both. Kill the chicken, and then immediately toss it on the fire or in a soup kettle. I think it's both. Might sound like a cop out, but come on, man. You can have more than one hobby and have both of them be your favorite. Oh man. Let's see here. All right, so from Alicia Kingston. Oh, Cat's in the room. What's going on? All right, so can the Lord Commander get down with the after show panel if your slots aren't already filled? Of course. Now I will be honest with you. We're not doing the whole 2 and 3 hour things like we did last year. Listen, it's a little hard to do because you know, God damn it, I gotta get up super early in the morning. So, not going to sleep until 1 o'clock isn't always a good thing. But yeah, AK, you already know what the deal is. Holla at me. We'll talk about it. We'll get you on, all right? Next up from Ricky Hunt. Will Sandor have a part in fighting the others? If so, will he get a Valyrian steel sword? Okay, so in the show, I'm gonna say most likely. In the books, in the books, no. No. I don't think he's gonna have a part to fight against the others in the books, though. If he does, it would shock me. I'm not saying that it won't happen. I'll just say that it would shock me if he did. All right. So next up for Lav, we have when will the Hound make his return in the books? I think it's going to be Clegane Bowl. I think Clegane Bowl is when we get his return. Yeah, I think that's when we get his return. Because that would be the ultimate. Cersei is, going to Casterly Rock. All of a sudden, there's some dude in the street or in the road or whatever. And it's like, hey, wait, what? Who is this? Get out of the way! Robert Strong, take care of him. And then all of a sudden, the Hound. It's like, oh shit. Cersei's got to flee with whatever other guards that she's got. And then we just get, the violent clash between the Mountain and the Hound. And finally, the Mountain crushes. No. The Mountain is crushed by the Hound. Crumbled. Whatever you want to say. So, yeah, Timo, yes, I will be going on right after. I mean, apparently now, competition for the after show is getting a little stiff. We got some new players out there now. I know Phil, the Issues guy, is seeing that, and it's funny because I didn't know until like halfway through last season that he was doing after shows. I thought we were like the only ones, and then all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, Philly Issues guys one. Like, shit, okay. And now Smokescreen, I think, has entered the list as well. So, it is what it is, man. Let's see here. All right, so next one from Todd Fowler. How do you feel about Game of Thrones season 8 being an hour and a half episodes? If they do what they need to do and they don't try to just cram a bunch of stuff in there and rush through it, it will be absolutely epic. Again, this is if they don't decide that they're just going to rush through and try to cram stuff in for the sake of, we just want to get this over and done with. Because when I heard the announcement about them making season 7 only 7 episodes and then season 8 6 episodes, it literally sounded like they were trying to rush through the story. If they make the episodes longer but pack more stuff that really is needed for the story in there, then I think it could be I think it could be a truly great finish for the show. All right, so let's see. Next from Ricky Hunt. Ren asked earlier, is it possible that Sandor, protective nature of Arya and Sansa is brought on by him being close to his sister, or guilt or not being able to protect her? You know what's funny? So, like, the thing about it is, the thing about that one is, we don't know much about his sister whatsoever. We don't know about that. So, until we get something from the Hound's point of view, or we get him interacting with someone and talking more about his past, we'll never know what he felt about his sister, and obviously we're not getting anything out of the Mountain. So, that's a difficult question to ask, but it was a very insightful question, and hopefully we will get something, concrete as to what happened exactly with the rest of the family. Yeah, hopefully we'll get that. It's hard to tell. Let's see here. Oh man, Todd. Nah, man. I can't. Like, how am I gonna do a show while the episode is airing? Oh man, that would be hilarious. Mm-mm-mm. And yeah, nah, Joe. Listen, yeah, man. We've been doing the after show at the same time for the past 3 years. I'm not switching for nobody. Nah, man. Nah. All right, let's see here. We got any more? Any more questions in here? Oh, what Thomas? Okay, Thomas Hayes. Top 5 favorite characters. Um, Top 5 favorite characters. So, in no particular order. Littlefinger, Varys, Tyrion, Tywin, Littlefinger, Tyrion, Varys, Tywin. Who was number 5? Who was number 5? Oh, all right. So Thomas says he needs an order of this one. Let's see here. Okay, so number 5, Davos Seaworth. Number 4, Varys the Spider. Number 3, Tyrion Lannister. Number 2, Tywin Lannister. Number 1, Peter Baelish, aka Littlefinger. Hashtag Mockingbird for King. Hail Hydra. All right. Let's see. Unrelated. Are the Rogue Watchers ever coming back? I would say if you are following me on Twitter, which you should be, stay tuned for your Twitter feed for that one about the Rogues. You already know how we do. And if you don't, stay glued to your Twitter feed. Look for updates on the Rogues very soon. Alright, so from Kat, do you think Sandor ended up growing affection for Arya? Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think that you can have someone who you're kind of mentoring and not have any affection for him, and not necessarily, um, in a sexual way, but just more like, all right, this is, a student teacher kind of thing where it's like I have someone who I'm showing how to survive and teaching them what they need in order to not be killed in this world. So yeah, I think they illustrated that very well in the show, uh, and it was more subtle in the way that George wrote it in the books. You see it because he does. I mean, think about it, right? If Sandor didn't care about about Arya, if he didn't care about Arya, she would have been dead at the Red Wedding. Period. Point blank. If it was all about, well, I can't get any money out of this kid. Fuck this kid. I'm done. She'd have been dead. When he hit her on the back of the head with that axe, that would have been the last POV we saw from Arya if the Hound did not care about her. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so now Thomas Hayes is asking for top 5 POVs. Hey, top 5 POVs. See, I can't really give an order for POVs, man. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it's a little hard for me to. Yeah, and like Timo said, POVs are easier. Great questions for me since I can't pick Littlefinger. I don't know, man, because I mean, Littlefinger is my guy. Littlefinger is my guy. So the fact that we don't have anything from him, let me think on that one. All right, let me think on the top 5 POVs. I will come back to that question before we end this. I promise you. So from Todd Fowler. Why did I say Thomas? See, we got a Thomas in here. Too many T's. A lot of T's in here right now. Are you a Spider-Man fan? New movie is awesome. Yes, I am a Spider-Man fan, and like, all right. So, if you guys have not noticed, or if you're new to the channel, I got like a ton of these new era caps. I got this one here, Wolverine. I got Death Trooper from Star Wars. I got Thanos. I got the Black Panther. I got this Thor. I got another Thor. I got the Black Flash. I got a ton of these hats. I'm waiting for my Spider-Man new era cap to come in the mail. Apparently, it's on back order right now because it's so popular. So, yeah, and I will be doing a review of Spider-Man probably, if not tomorrow, then Saturday. It'll get all of 5 views, but fuck it, man. It's what I want to do. And that'll be on my other channel, Don Entertainment, and I will leave I'll leave a link somewhere or tweet it or something. Okay. Oh man. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh wow, Lord of the Last Hearth. Lord of the Last Hearth. Tony, what's going on, my man? Let's see here. So I'm still okay. Hold on, Renwood. Renwood. Unrelated. Do you think Night's Watch get a salary? If not, how do they pay for the services in Molestown? Okay, so that is a very interesting question. Maybe they don't have to pay for the services at Molestown because Molestown is under the protection of the Night's Watch. I mean, because you got to think about it. If they're at Molestown, I mean, where are the hordes gonna go? Where do hordes go? Not to Molestown if they want to get paid by the Night's Watch. All right, another question for Ricky Hunt. What is the big lapse in memory George is planning? He said the unkiss between Sansa and Sandor was meant to set the way for a bigger lapse in memory by a character, or memory a character will have later. Sorry, it kind of jumbled up some of your words a little bit here. Memory lapse. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So with the whole unkiss where Sansa remembers Sandor kissing her or had a dream about it or wanted it, something like that. It's, I don't know, man. It's I don't know what the memory lapse is supposed to be about. I'll be honest with you. It's one of those things where, you know, I haven't put too much thought into this whole thing, only because I know people are shipping Sansa and Sandor. There's the San theory or whatever, or and I believe the first people I heard talk about that were LaDonna and James Johnson. To my memory, at least. There may have been other people who talked about it before, but those are the ones that I remember personally. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so from AU Pack Mule, and don't think I didn't forget. You know, I didn't forget, Thomas. I'm trying to go through my favorite POVs in my head right now. So will Sandor get a Valyrian steel sword? I'd love for him to get a Valyrian steel sword. I don't know that he will. Because he could die in Clegane Bowl or right after Clegane Bowl. That could be a thing. Uh, it's so damn hard to tell sometimes, though. You know, I wish George would hurry up with these fucking books so we don't have to keep on speculating. It would make life a lot easier. You know, man. All right, so AU, yeah, I'll definitely hit you up after this is over. Don't worry. All right, so from Todd Fowler, between Tyrion and Davos, who deserves to die? If you want to say as of A Dance with Dragons, it would be Tyrion, because Tyrion in A Dance with Dragons was like a complete asshole. He wants to drink himself to death. He was a dick to Penny. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's still clever, but if you want to talk about who deserved to die, then it would be Davos. I mean, not. No, sorry. Between Davos and Tyrion, it would be Tyrion. Okay, so look, and I'm sorry, Thomas. I know you want an order for this, right? I know you want an order, but I can't give an order for this one with the POVs. I can't do it. Can't do it. But here are my top 5. Samwell, Davos, because Davos' chapters are fucking awesome. Davos' chapters are totally, totally awesome. Tyrion, when he's not being the biggest dick possible. So what I said: Sam, Davos, Tyrion. You know what? If I can go with one-offs, I might have to go with some one-offs. Uh, because some of the one-off chapters are like the prologues and epilogue chapters, and also you know I mean, like, look, Aaron Dampier, the chapter from freaking Winds of Winter. Come on, like, if you've ever read that chapter, that is the shit. That is absolutely the shit. So yeah, Aaron Dampier and Brienne. I think Brienne has some of the greatest chapters. There's a lot of information conveyed. She shows that even though she is not always self-assured, that she is still up to task. So I gotta go with Brienne. And for an honorable mention, I'm gonna go with Bran. Now, a lot of people think that Bran's chapters are boring, but if it wasn't for me sitting down and sifting through and analyzing Bran's chapters, I would not have been able to come up with my Bran the Time Traveler theory. And for those of you who are new to the channel, make sure to check out the Bran the Time Traveler theory videos, and especially check out my newest one, Father of the Direwolves one, because that one I think was probably one of my most brilliant and I hope it comes true. I expect it to come true only because Bran has broken 2 out of the 3 rules of warging. So there's still for him to jump inside of an animal and mate with another animal. And what better way to tie up the whole story and to bring it back than for him to actually be, and maybe even unbeknownst to him, the father of all of the current Stark direwolves. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Man, I'm seeing we get a lot of different, stuff with people with chapters that they like. You know, shout out to whoever you like or don't like. Yeah, fuck Sansa. Sansa's chapters are fucking boring as fuck, except for when she's talking to Littlefinger. Pretty much. Um, let's see here. Yeah, and fuck Catelyn too, man. You know, for real, for real. Fuck Catelyn. All right, man. Let's see here. Yeah, listen, Lab. I don't understand why the whole animal mating thing is a rule either, but I think George set that up so that we could get Bran being the father of those direwolves. Listen, man, I know it's out there. I know it's super out there, but yo, you know how many people miss the fact that that Varamir Six Skins is still alive? Yo, and I missed it the first time I read Dance with Dragons, and there's the whole fight with Summer and the wolves when they're on their way, to the cave. I missed that the very first time, but when I went back the second time, especially because I paid, like the second time, you're paying more attention. You're trying to get the clues and all that stuff. So when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, hold on. He's still alive. He's living a second life in the one-eyed wolf." And then when I saw him, fighting against Brad, I was like, "Oh, okay." Now I don't know how long it's been, because they don't give us a time period of how long it's been, but that means Varamir Six Skins is still alive, and Bran still has to break that third rule. He has to break that third rule of warging, which is, the whole thing of not mating with another animal. And it's like, why would you have him mate with another animal if just to do it? Why just to do it? And I want you guys to go back and read that Varamir Six Skins chapter very carefully, because there are things in there that tell you, because some people have to comment on my video like, oh, well, why wouldn't he be the mother of the wolves? Um, and I think that one of the things that Varamir is going through in his mind is that he didn't like being mounted, because listen, as a guy, especially a straight guy, if you're a straight guy, the thought of you know of being mounted by anyone is like, hey, whoa, no. Not trying to have that happen. you know Shout out to Big E. you know yeah, I'm sitting here on the damn salt throne. You already know what it is. Hashtag I'm so salty. Let's see. Ion, I do not think that Sandor has 100 quotes. I don't believe that Sandor has 100 quotes, so I can't give 100, top 100 Sandor quotes. Okay. Oh, we got another question from Ricky here. I'm gonna take a few more before I wrap this up for the night. So, from Ricky Q&A, do you think the Royces know that Elaine is actually Sansa? Okay, so there's a whole thing that Miranda may possibly know something, but unless she's actually been to Winterfell, I don't know that she would know necessarily that Miranda Royce. I don't think that Miranda Royce would actually know that she is Sansa unless either she's been to King's Landing or she saw Sansa somewhere. You know, yeah. So I mean, unless she went to Winterfell or King's Landing or saw them on the road or something like that, I don't know. Um, yeah, honestly, I don't know. I doubt it though, because Jan Royce, Bronze Jan Royce saw her face to face. Sansa was scared that whole time, and excuse me, like Littlefinger was telling her, the fact that she's considered to be a bastard. Jan Royce isn't really paying him much attention because he's like, oh, okay, your Littlefinger's bastard. He doesn't already like Littlefinger to begin with, so he's not really paying attention to the kid. It's like, whatever. All right, yeah. Miranda, on the other hand, may have some tricks up her sleeve. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. Another one from Ricky. Is it possible Wyla was at the Tower of Joy and she told the Danes her and Ned had an affair, and the reason the Danes love Ned so much is taking his son with Wyla and raising him? I believe Wyla was there. Wyla's probably dead, so we'll probably never know. Yeah, unless he is alive, because he was Edric Storm's uh, uh, wet nurse. I mean, like it. I'll be honest with you, that one is a little difficult to tell. It is, you know. I don't want to lie to you. So Todd Fowler, after Littlefinger dies, who will inherit his time travel services? I will. I'm just gonna leave it at that one. I will inherit Littlefinger's travel services after he is gone, which will not be until season 8. They better not kill him off in season 7 with just some bullshit. Look, let me go on a little bit of a tangent here. Littlefinger deserves to die. He probably doesn't have much more to do after this particular season. But it better not be just some bullshit like, oh well, yeah, just felt like killing Littlefinger today, so sorry, you gotta go. What needs to happen? What needs to happen is the Hound needs to tell either Arya or Sansa what went down in the throne room, and that Littlefinger was not only directly involved with what happened, but that Littlefinger set up Ned. Because if that does not happen, Littlefinger dying would be absolutely for no reason, and it would be bullshit. And hopefully by this point, Dan and Dave have learned you can't just bullshit people and expect them to accept it. All right, highest rated show on HBO ever or not, we will not go for the bullshit when it comes to killing off a character like Littlefinger. We already went for the bullshit when it came to Dorne. No more bullshit when it comes to deaths. If you're gonna do a death, it's got to be meaningful. It's got to be right. It can't be just had nothing better to do today. Kill a character. No, we're not going for that. Okay, so Joe Swag says there will be bullshit. Hopefully not. I really, man, I really don't want there to be bullshit. Come on, man. Mm-mm. So Ricky points out the Royce's words are, "We remember." Really, is I didn't like. I had no idea what the Royce's house words were. I'll be honest with you. No, let's see here. If Jan knows about Sansa, what does he plan to do? He better be planning not to get killed by Littlefinger. That's about all he better be planning to do. Let's see here. Anything with Euron on the show is bullshit. Okay. So here's the thing, right? So I was actually gonna do today was gonna be Euron, but I thought about something. I heard a quote that the actor who plays Euron was saying is that this season he's gonna make Ramsay look like a child, and I'm guessing when he talks to like the brutality, etc., etc. So I decided, you know what? Since we didn't get to see Euron do anything other than kill Balon in season 6, and then I claim the Salt Throne, and I'm slinging my big cock around everywhere. Um, since that was all he did, I want to wait until after season 7. So the week that season 7 ends, I will do the Euron episode. All right, that'll be my Euron opinion piece. Once we've got to see, is he really, as much of a badass as he claims to be? Because if he isn't doing some hard shit in this one, oh, the roast. Where the hell's my Deadshot hat? I will be throwing on that Deadshot hat, and I will be taking aim at Euron Greyjoy. I will be taking big aim at Euron Greyjoy if he is not, all of the badass that he's supposed to be. Talking about he's gonna make Ramsay look like a child. So, mark my words, Euron better be like the yeah, he'd better fucking stupefy me with how just absolutely grotesque and not even just grotesque, but just absolutely brutal how he could possibly be. All right, so that's what I'm gonna say on that one. All right, so all right. So we're gonna get in. I'm gonna do three more questions, and then I'm calling a wrap for tonight because I still got work to do. Always got work to do, man. Always, there's always more work to be done. So all right. So this one from Ricky Hunt. Is Sandor Clegane basically Omar through the wire? They both say a man's got to have a code. You know what? I will actually, yeah. I will actually go with that one. Well, except he's, I believe he's straight. Probably, I mean, and he's not black. And I think he speaks a little better English. A little better. Not much, though. And Biggie, hopefully a kid will not kill Sandor because that would be a little messed up. That'd be a little messed up, man. All right, 2 more questions. Get them in. Get them in. Oh, man. Yeah, no rest for the wicked. Look, man, Littlefinger is my mentor, and in order for me in order for me to achieve the status of the true king of all of this stuff, you know, look, heavy is the head that wears the salt crown. Oh man, one day I'll tell you. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna tell about the whole salt thing. Maybe one day. Not sure yet. Oh man, oh man. Let's see here. Um. Okay, so I'm guessing AU is asking, will there be a House Clegane at the end of the show? I'm going to say probably not. Probably not. I doubt it. Hey, what's going on, Steph? See, look, you should have came here first because we're actually about to get out of here. Tyrion Junior Landstark. What's going on, man? Let's see. Okay, so wow. All right, I'm gonna take these last couple of questions since they all kind of popped up at the same time. So from really, it's right when I'm about to leave is when I'm getting like this barrage of questions now. Oh man. All right, so for Thomas Hayes, what are your predictions for Sandor at the end of this season? Um, getting ready for getting ready to battle his brother next season. That's what I predict at the end of this season. Getting ready to do battle with his brother at the end of the show. Let's see from Cat. What is the part you expect the most of this season? Cat, you're gonna have to rephrase the question. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that one. Let's see. Okay, from Ricky, will we see Taisha again? Is she the sailor's wife? Um, that is a very interesting one. I think Taisha's probably dead, and Penny is probably her daughter. Yeah, Taisha's probably dead. Penny's probably her daughter. Hopefully Tyrion does not sleep with Penny, because that would be absolutely gross. Yeah, that would be absolutely gross. All right, so from Whitley Purnell, how do you think Sandor will react to the dragons given his fear of fire? Um, given his fear of fire, man, you know what? I think Sandor will probably want to stay as far away from them as possible. I do not believe he will encounter them in the books, but he will most definitely encounter them in the show. They're going out of their way. Um, they're going out of their way to push a lot of the main characters and even secondary characters together. So, yeah, I would say that in the show, Sandor is probably going to cower away from the dragons. In the books, I don't think he ever meets up with the dragons at all. Okay. Trying to wait for Kat to rephrase her question if she's still in here because I'm not exactly sure what her question meant. So, Kat, if you're in here, I'll give you a couple of minutes. I'm running over the time that I wanted to go. Okay. So from Val Margolis, let's see here. Hammer of the Waters equals Doom of Valeria. Yes or no? I say thee nay. Um, yeah, because you got to figure, even if you're talking about a tidal wave, the flooded swamp, how exactly would that trigger volcanic earthquakes? And remember, also, no, the Doom of Valeria happened way after that. We're talking thousands of years. Remember, the Doom of Valeria only happened a couple of generations before Aegon decided he wanted to conquer Westeros. So yeah, so Hammer of the Waters, Doom of Valeria. I don't believe it's the same thing. The Children of the Forest, I don't think really cared about. No, it's not that they didn't care about human beings at that time, but they're in Westeros, so you know they're in Westeros. The Valerians are in Essos. I don't think that they. I just don't think they really cared at that time. So, you know, interesting theory though. All right, Sean. Have a good night, sir. Okay, here we go. Kat, what is it that you expect to see the most of this season? Any particular fight, reunion, death, etc. Okay. What I'm looking forward to the most for this particular season is what I'm looking forward to the most this season. Uh, to get more backstory on the White Walkers. Um, Hopefully to get the damn tourney in Harrenhal. We haven't heard anything about that. So I think that we definitely need to see that. Like that's the thing that I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that's something that doesn't get spoiled in any of the trailers. But we'll see what happens with that one. You know. All right. So from Tyrion Junior Landstark, do you think Night's King senses Bran, the Breaker in Bran? Well, see, here's the thing, right? So for Bran the Breaker, like all the other brands, with the exception of Bran the Builder, none of the other brands are mentioned in the show. So I think they kind of skipped over that whole thing. So I don't think he senses Bran the Breaker in him. All right, all right. Let's see from Ricky. What is going to be the end result of the blood magic ritual Euron is doing in the Forsaken? Is he summoning a kraken, causing a volcano eruption, etc.? So I mean, look, I think that we have to see a kraken. Um, we had to see a kraken because I don't like with all of the magical creatures that are talked about in the books. All of the mythical creatures. If we don't see an ice dragon, if we don't see a kraken, if we don't see an ice spider, a shadow cat, a grumpkin, a snark, and I'm still not even sure what the hell a grumpkin or a snark are. If we don't see those, it will be a great disappointment. Because we hear about the whole thing with the Krakens bringing down ships in the middle of the oceans and all that stuff. So we actually need to see that on page. And if Euron brings that to life, all the more better. Just to show how much of a supervillain he actually is. Okay, okay. All right, two more questions, and then, damn, you people keep on popping in questions. Look, I'm trying to get out of here. I got shit I actually need to do for work for real. All right, let's see. Ricky Hunt again. Ricky is the question master in this chat today. All right, what is up with all the names? With all the names having what on in what? Brent. Oh, on. Okay, I was about to say. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I don't know. Maybe that was just easier for George to. Well, that's a way of tying the world together. Is that there's a commonality, because remember, they share common ancestry. A lot of them, they're trying to keep certain names and traditions alive, and maybe that's the reason why a lot of them have that ON at the end of their names. So that's probably what that is. Let's see here. Thomas Hayes asked where the squish is at. In H.P. Lovecraft. That's pretty much where the squishers are. Alright, let's see here. Alright, let's see another one from Kat. What is it? Wait. What? Oh, I answered it. Whatever. I think I answered this question already. But yeah. I mean, for season 8, yeah. For season 8, like I said, the shit. God damn it, man! I totally lost my train of thought. Oh man, I'm looking crazy out here right now. All right, so for season 8, like I said, I expect more about the White Walkers. I expect a surprise turning in Harrenhal. Um, that's pretty much the. Oh, and see, like I don't really have expectations. When it comes to the series, there are hopes, yes. Expectations, not so much. Wait. Oh, well, you know what? I do remember that Serial Pharrell question. Do I think he was a spy for Littlefinger? Nah. Nah. Don't think he was a spy for Littlefinger. Shout out to Violet Messiah. Shout out to Violet Messiah 666. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just passing through the Benini. Thank you. I don't know why Violet Messiah 666, but this is YouTube. All right. Look, it has been almost an hour and a half, which is about a half hour longer than I wanted to go. But you know what? It's cool. Glad to be with you guys. And no, I'm actually not going to bed, Timo. This has nothing to do with going to bed. Like I said, work stuff. What? Hold on, Ricky. All right, so look, Ricky, this will be the absolute last one. And I know it's a couple of seconds behind. But, alright, so Syrio Forel was First Lord of Bravos, lifelong position, like the Kingsguard. How is he in King's Landing, training Arya? Who was the guy who recommended Syrio to Forel? Um, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know. Unfortunately, that is the best answer I have for you. I have no idea. Absolutely do not know. Oh man. And yeah, unfortunately, I cannot outsource this work. This is not the kind of work that can be outsourced, unfortunately. But it's all good though. Love you guys. Anyway, look, like I said, I gotta get the hell up out of here. I do have work that needs to be done, very important work, but I will be back next week. Make sure to leave suggestions in the comments for who you would like to see me talk about next time. And you guys already know the deal. For the rest, rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. That has been my time, and this is Don Willie saying Valador Harris.